Right. What the fuck did we do last? What was the one? What was the last? Oh, fucking hell. I've just remembered. Hi guys, welcome back to Theory Thursday. We are back with another episode. We are on episode 12.
Lots.
12. This is 12. 12.
I mean, we're still the Heel Project.
Because 10 went out for real today. But you would have seen number 11 last week. And lads, do we remember what number 11 was?
Yeah.
Flat Earth. Go watch it. It was...
oh, yes. AJ Styles.
It was something.
I got a jar of dirt. Sorry.
I got a jar of dirt. I got a jar of dirt. I guess what's inside it? I'm Herd's turd.
Cocaine, apparently.
But
Carry
we are we are back with a mega snort. We are back, and it is Pete's turn this week. Hi everyone. Can I just please ask you to like the video for me whilst we're here? And then maybe subscribe if you haven't already. And if you don't like it, you can always reverse those decisions later, can't you? Back to the content. Bye. So yeah, Pete.
Are we ready?
Yeah. Yes,
Pete,
mate.
take it away.
What have you got?
Well, I'm going to start off by asking you. I'm going to start off by asking you a question. Where were you on the 25th of June 2009? Anyone remember? Or what about if I rephrased it?
Just moved into a new house.
Where was you the day that Michael Jackson died? Because everyone remembers this, surely.
No.
The news they heard when they heard that Jackson died.
I remember where I was.
I was finishing school. Expect. I don't know. I was in
I
year 9. I was in what, year 9?
Starting.
I was doing a mega line.
Or when you got told that Michael Jackson apparently died?
It was about 2.5 weeks before my kid was born.
Feels like, oh, here we go. Well, this is something that's always interested me.
I'm already out.
No, it's something that's always interested me because I've been a massive Jackson fan forever, like forever. And I remember the day that it got announced that he was doing the tour.
Right.
This Is It tour at the O2, and it was only going to be 10 dates. It was going to earn him like 50 million. And then it got announced to 50 dates, and it was like, we're going to see him. I'm going to go see him at the O2. It's finally going to happen.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then we got the news, and really late, in June. He was supposed to start it in July, the actual dates. And then we found out that he had passed. And
did you have tickets?
No, I would have. Yeah. Actually, do you know they sold out over 1 million tickets sold in under 2 minutes? That's how mental this was.
That's like Clash of the Castles.
Yeah, he sold literally. It was 10 dates, and they put it up to 50 dates, and over 1 million tickets got sold in under 2 minutes. And I've been looking through, and I've always been fascinated because you always hit the rumours and bits and pieces. And I've got a video for you to watch first of all.
Billy Shears again.
It's Billy Shears. No, someone took a video of the ambulance that took Jackson's body away, and it was going into the hospital. And when he had passed, this happened.
Morbid.
And just keep an eye on the back of the ambulance.
I'll be honest, that's where it's zooming in on, Pete.
That puzzled me first of all.
I mean, is there any
Is there any evidence that it's the same coroner van?
or even that's not even a caravan. It's not a caravan. It's an ambulance. Or
That
is
was
there
an ambulance.
any evidence that that's
It says coroner on the back, didn't
what?
it?
Or even from that date?
This come out straight after, and this was something.
but
I know
It
what
could
you're
have
saying
been
there.
before. It could have been
Yeah,
before.
it could have been. It could have been. But that was one of the things that made me go, oh, because that definitely looked like Jackson jumping out of the back of that. Well, a figure like
He stepped out. Shimon!
well, the figure.
Check the moan.
It goes on further than that. Then you had once it passed. Larry King was doing an interview with Joe Jackson, And this got questioned. Just a simple question, and this always puzzled me. And I know there's history with Joe Jackson and bits and pieces, but this always puzzled me.
Where is Michael's body?
I don't know. You have to ask somebody that knows. I don't know. All I know,
You're the father.
I was at the memorial, and where they took it from there, I have to find out. I'll let you know later, Larry.
Okay.
That was always like, what?
Huh? So he had the
his
memorial.
own father. He was at the memorial, and they was like, where is he? Because that's always been a thing. Where is he buried?
Yeah.
Because everyone wondered what if it was going to be a Neverland, and no one's actually. It's never come out where his actual body is buried. There's memorials about, but never his actual body. And they've actually asked his dad, "Where's Michael's body?" Because that was always a question. I don't know. I'll have to ask him and find out. You're his dad.
But he didn't like him.
You, as a dad, you would still know where your child is buried, surely.
I mean, if you don't like someone, there's very little, like, you know.
Is your dog all right, by the way, Link?
No, he's not. He's taking him out. So as soon as he's done this, I will take him out.
And there is mad conspiracy theories going around. Like, I'm going to bring up one because this is what made me think, oh, don't know if you can see that well.
What am I supposedly looking at? Is that supposed to be?
Is he supposed to be hiding in the
hold
back?
on. That picture there, this is what
his
really
daughter.
cut me. Because this is the picture I see after trying to do research. Yeah? And this is where I hate it when people start doctoring things. Because the picture that actually went everywhere was... Ready?
Mm-hmm.
That was the picture that went everywhere.
I mean, that's his daughter, right?
It is. That's
And I'm assuming this is the picture of him
that's
with
the
him in the
picture
back.
that went
yeah.
everywhere.
That's shocking.
That's what gutted me because that's the picture that went everywhere. You see that
The thing
straight
is,
away, you're going to go, really?
that looks like he's 2 rows behind in that picture. It looks like he's literally must have been sat in the boot.
Well, no, it's not even that. If you look, it's literally a carbon copy of the picture next to it.
Yeah,
like
pretty much.
it's almost like they photocopied that exact face and photo into the picture. It's really bad.
And that was when I went, oh, he's
Yeah.
yeah.
I was out, then I was in, and now I'm back out again.
But I was looking.
Whoa, the hokey cokey!
Then I decided to look at. Do you know what?
Right,
How
I'll turn
many
around
other-
and put it in again.
I thought, how many other conspiracies are there out there about this? So I decided to look a bit deeper, and I come across some more.
Oh God,
Has anyone ever heard of Dave?
Dave.
Dave.
He's not just Dave, it's Dave.
No,
yeah?
no, it's Dave.
Dave.
Yeah, Dave.
Dave. You've never heard of Dave?
Is he like Richard the Dick or Robert the Bob?
No. Dave was a lifelong friend of Michael Jackson.
Rob.
Was
And
it Robert
I'm
Bobbert?
I'm going to
Dick.
play this one for you first. Right, let's go here.
Michael Johnson. No, Richard Johnson is what I meant. Fucking idiot.
Wayne Johnson.
Twain.
Dave, here we go.
Yeah, the word Dave is just.
This is Michael Jackson's lifelong friend, apparently. He's helped him through a lot. Listen to the voice of Dave. Okay?
Yeah.
And Dave, yes, that's his name, Dave. He was David Rothenberg. He was set on fire in 1983, suffered, as you can see, terrible scars. Michael Jackson befriended him and paid for a lot of his surgeries. Dave is also attending the burial. Why Dave?
Well, to liberate myself from the confines of my father's criminality.
He caused the fire?
Yeah. He is a criminal, and he caused all this. To free myself of his name and his legacy, I decided to become my own person through changing my name.
We'll find out how Michael helped you, but Miko, is that a typical story?
Right, that was Dave.
You're going to tell me that he's Michael Jackson now, aren't you?
No, there's a conspiracy going around, and I'll tell you why. There's a reason why. That voice is a very distinctive voice.
Michael Dave Jackson. Okay.
Hold on. There's a reason why. Listen to the voice.
He's a survivor. David, please come join us.
Okay, so this is before Michael Jackson died, right?
Yeah, but listen.
Thank you.
I was gonna say, I'm hanging out here with two GQ studs.
Look at this.
Pleasure.
Look at this.
Pleasure.
Color coordinated, too.
You know, and first things first, Dave, you go by Dave?
Yes, that's my legal name.
And you changed your name after this all happened. Why?
About 2 years ago, I changed it legally to Dave to liberate myself.
The key bit there, they were saying his voice, that's a totally different voice.
It is. I'll give you that.
I'll give you
I
that.
will give you that. And he does definitely go towards of the more softer spoken Michael Jackson style sort of tone.
And a conspiracy going out there, and I was like, really, is that Michael Jackson has taken the name of Dave and he is Dave in disguise. Because there was big rumours
of Dave then.
I reckon Michael
they
killed
reckon
Dave.
is still around.
Or do they reckon this
So there's just two Daves. So it's like Dave.
Dave. The conspiracy
Like
is that
Dave 1
Jackson,
and Dave 2.
that Jackson used to wear a wig for a long time towards the end of his life and
Well, yeah,
since
he
the
had
burns.
the burns.
Yeah. And they were saying once a lot of the makeup and bits and pieces were done, the wig come off. He was badly burned during the Pepsi adverts and bits and pieces when he went away. And he
His
used to
face
highlight
wasn't,
his
but
face. Yeah. But they were saying it was heavily makeup. There's loads of different theories, but that is actually one of the theories as well, that he is Dave.
It's not the worst theory we've had on this series, that part of it, but it doesn't say a lot, really.
I'm not going to say. I'm not going to lie. This is the first time I've ever heard this, and I actually,
kinda like
from
it.
the evidence you provide,
I kind of like it.
I
That was-
don't.
It's
Yeah.
one of those that when I heard
Forget
it,
the
and I was
hokey
like,
cokey.
what?
Forget the hokey cokey. I am balls deep now. That's
It's one of those that it's one of those that makes you think a little bit like those voices. That's what changed it for me. I was like, really? And then I heard the voice. I went, that's a totally different voice.
So is this? So obviously we saw the picture of Dave before
Yes.
when he was young Dave.
Yeah,
with,
young Dave with Jackson.
with Mike Jack. And
Jack.
they took photos together.
Yeah.
But when did they sort of, were they always friends? Obviously,
Well, since the
we're not
burns
going
happened
into
in
that side of things
no,
as such, but
1980, I think it was 1984, if I remember rightly.
Did-
Dave had the accident.
but did they stay befriended that entire time?
And apparently he was that good of a friend, and Jackson always helped him. He actually got invited to the memorial and the funeral of Jackson's.
This is where I don't.
And that was quite selective.
If it had been in the recent years up to his death, and this was just before, okay, you
Yeah.
do naturally start talking like your people that you're hanging out with lots. Like,
Yeah.
maybe not
that.
necessarily the voice, your tones, but certainly mannerisms. I mean, it's not absurd to think that it could have been tones that he started changing.
From my father, and to establish myself as an artist.
Sorry, Dave. Dave wanted a word.
But
That wasn't Dave. That was
that's
Michael.
that's not absurd to think that he's changed it over time. Do you know how far apart those two things were, Pete?
He said 2 years.
It was a couple of years at least. Hold on. Let me find out exactly
Quite
for
short
you.
time to actually change your entire tone of your voice.
Like
Yeah,
I can see if I can get an actual date for you. But the thing was that puzzled a lot of people.
He's literally just googled Dave.
No, is
Dave.
the bit that puzzled everyone. It was Dave was a lifelong friend, a very important person in Michael's life. Michael Jackson was quite public about who he let into his circle. He kept those quite close, and a lot of people knew of like the Oprahs and the people he was quite close with, Macaulay
The Dave
Culkin,
Daves.
and no one really heard of Dave.
But he's not
until-
famous. The others
No,
were.
No, but you're right. I haven't. Somebody
A
as
lot of
close,
people-
close as that to Michael, especially as I watched obviously all the Channel 4 documentaries and stuff. Like Dave wasn't mentioned anywhere.
No, but apparently
Yeah, I
he was
remember
very,
hearing about
very
Dave.
close to Michael throughout his whole, basically since he was a child, all the way up to an adult. Him and Michael were very, very close. And it was just a bit like, I know I'm a big Jackson fan. I had never, ever heard of this guy until this interview come out. And I was like, who is this?
I was going to phrase that really badly. I won't phrase it that way because it's quite disrespectful considering Dave.
Here we go.
I was going to say.
19...
I was going. No, I won't. I was. Well, I will. I was going to say. And I don't mean it in a disrespectful way, but I was going to say I'm going to add fuel to the fire. That's an awful way to say things based on what we're on about. But
It is.
what if Dave wasn't ever a real person as a grown up there? So that was always somebody in obviously latex makeup, and that the child that he was with sadly maybe didn't make it. He passed, and Michael's state pays his family to.
Yeah. Well, I've just done
quiet.
a bit more research that
And
I was rushing around and should have done earlier. Dave.
Link, where have you
legally
gone?
changed-
Link,
Link, are you there?
I'm in the abyss.
don't be in the best.
Are we? Is it Monday, Murder Monday again? Have you blurred him out?
Hashtag blur.
Dave Rothenberg changed his name in 1992 to Dave.
Dave.
Sorry, in 96. Sorry. Then he become a house musician, DJ, producer, and rap musician.
DJ Dave.
And then he actually died at the age of 42, apparently, in
he's dead.
2018.
But after, recently.
If he was going to say 27, this is a completely different conspiracy.
Yeah. No, he died at the age of 42 after he changed his name in 1996, he became a house musician, DJ, music producer, and rap artist as well.
So
Yeah, but that's in '96. So by that point, like, obviously Jackson's still alive.
Not doing nothing, but yeah, I know what you mean. And it was just, I'd never heard of it. And it was just, that really threw me. The voice, I'll be honest, the voice threw me more than anything. I was like, you shut your eyes, you are listening to Michael Jackson.
It's not. I don't.
You know.
It's
very similar.
It's like I said. I think it's a very similar tone. It's a very similar mannerism, isn't it? It's not.
I reckon one of us four could do a similar impression of Michael Jackson.
Yeah, yeah.
Go on then.
Yeah, go on.
But yeah,
go on,
to answer your question about his name.
Hang on, Pete, shut up. Phil's the guest. If he does this, he can have a shout out.
It's already in my head sounding really camp, so I'm not going to do it.
just sing it. Just sing one of his songs.
I was about to do one, and then I realised.
Go on, Phil. Say you don't know one.
Herbert the pervert.
Yeah, say you don't know.
I can't think of
Michael
any off the
Jackson
top of
song.
my head because he doesn't. He doesn't sing like he speaks. That's all right.
That's
wouldn't
true.
work.
Yeah, he's got a very
Anyway,
powerful voice.
I'll let you.
You was asking when that interview was. I know it happened after 96. That's what I can tell you at the minute.
Okay.
So
before 2018,
Yes.
because he's not dead.
well, it'd have been. Yeah.
Well, it'd be before Jackson, because at the time he was pushing his music career and it was no talk of Jackson.
So what we're saying
So
then,
after
if,
96, but before 2009.
Yeah.
if Dave's dead now, that's basically Michael Jack dead as well. Is that what we're saying now?
Yeah. It looks that way.
Or are we going to say
so
he's going to come back as somebody else?
So the answer to your theory of is Michael Jackson dead?
yes.
Yes, he is.
But did he
Yes, the
did
person that
he
was
die
intended to
in
be is also
2009?
It was. Yeah. Well, what happened to the King of Pop? Did he die that day? In 2009.
Do you want to know an honest, my honest view? I'm still
Billy Shears abducted him.
I like. Well, I'd say out of everything.
Dave is Billy Shears.
Shut up. Every conspiracy. The Presley being still alive and the Jackson still being alive are probably the ones I can actually get my head around to actually somewhat believe. They're the only.
Oh, Presley's dead now.
He will be now, but I wouldn't be.
Well, at the
wouldn't have-
time.
I wouldn't have been shocked. Well, I'm sure.
Same
I'm
with
sure.
Tupac, to
I'm
be
sure
fair.
we'll get to. And Tupac. I'm sure we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But for me,
It's definitely one of those you can tell.
He's dead though.
You could tell if these lot wanted to. Same as the Book McCartney, if they wanted to vanish, they could.
So Pete, are you saying did he die in 2009?
Did he die that night of 2009?
I'm gonna say no. Just throw it out.
I'm gonna say him and Billy Shears went and got on a plane at Denver Airport and flew to the South Pole to see if they could find the end of the world.
I reckon they're still running around the tunnels underneath trying to find their way out.
That's also possible. Maybe they'll be abducted by lizard people.
So Link is a no then. But you're
I'm afraid.
but you're very
yeah.
confused by Dave. Dave's throwing a real spanner in the works.
Dave did throw a spanner in the works, but he's still a no. Also, the fact his name is Dave is just the best thing I've heard.
It wasn't.
All day.
It was Dave Rothenberg, but he changed it to Dave.
Dave.
Look at Pete
Dave,
backing
Dave.
up Dave.
By choice, Dave. Like that doesn't make it bad, does it? At least make it David Davidson or something, or David Davison,
Or David Dickinson. Oh wait, no, that's taken.
Yeah, not that one.
See, if he'd have started moonwalking, then maybe that would have been.
Well, you don't know if he did. Maybe he did in his free time, and had like anti-gravity shoes where he was able to like lean over really far forwards without disappearing or falling over.
So I mean, we've had R3. Pete, what's your opinion now that you've done the research? As it should always finish with you.
David's really thrown me. I tell you what else as well. That ambulance where someone jumped out the back of that.
No, that could be from anywhere, any time. Like it could have been filmed 3 weeks beforehand, 7 months. Like, it could literally be from the last time Jackson was in hospital before that.
And I think
that's
it's one
your
of those.
opinion, though.
It's one of those. Surely there would have been. Like, you know, where that some memorial where they like Elvis at Graceland, and there's nothing. It's very private considering what a public person he
I
was.
get what you're saying there,
Yeah.
but obviously there was a lot of controversy around him not long before he died.
Yeah.
Is it not possible that that's all been kept quiet as to where he was buried for that reason, so that
Possibly,
it's not
yeah.
defaced, etc.?
Yeah. I kind of think that he might have gone that night, but I don't know. I really don't. I'm undecided with this.
Let me put it to you
Can I
this
just
way.
say, sorry, before we say that, Pete, I've just Googled where is Michael Jackson buried, and it's come up saying Forest Lawn, California, United States straight away.
No, there's a memorial there. There's not
there's
actually
a memorial.
There's not actually buried there.
Okay.
No one actually quite knows where the body was, and actually they've admitted now in the actual memorial they done in the big event where his kids went up on stage, he wasn't there. His body was not there.
Yeah,
they've said that casket was empty.
So let me put it to you this way, because I was about to say this a second ago. If he survived and it was all a cover-up and his family was all in on it, would his family have then tried to sue the doctor for malpractice?
Good point there.
Yeah.
That is a good point.
Yes.
Yeah, that is a good
money.
point. That's
Money
true.
is money.
Well, no, because like if they're suing somebody, like that person's then going to go, well, actually, he never died anyway, so
Yeah.
because he's a doctor.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. That's a point I never thought of, and that kind of sealed it for me.
Completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
But they didn't
Kind of sealed it.
sue him until
it was well after.
which is why I'm still
But
thinking
it's still after he's dead. Like he's either dead or he's not. You know, the doctor's gonna like.
Yeah,
no.
but what I'm saying is, what the conspiracy was, did he die in 2009?
Yeah.
And I'm saying
there's
no.
a lot of questions I think that
Was
loose
the-
ends that could have been tied up.
Was the poor practice actually after
But it was
2011, 12?
The lawsuit was because of his death in 2009. So
Yeah. And it's like the thing was, I don't know if this might be a thing. Would they have any right if his father wanted to? Because his father actually said he wanted to talk to, he wanted to remember Michael as he was, sort things out with the kids, sort things out on an interview. And is there anything actually stopping him? Because there was never actually there was allegations about him, but nothing was ever proven to stop him knowing where his son is buried.
they wouldn't stop him. No,
Because he said he's not, he don't know, and he would have to try and ask and try and find out. And it was like, you never knew. That would be the first thing you'd want to know.
Yeah.
So it just, there's little bits tied up, not knowing where your son was buried.
Different people want to know different things.
Yeah,
to be honest with you, with Joe Jackson, in my opinion, his first thought was, well, where's all his money?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Like not, or who's got the rights to his music now, or who's got, who's going to get future royalties? Like not
different breed of people.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's true,
he was more worried about himself than he was about where a corpse was, essentially.
Like I said, I was a bit gutted because I remember the first thing I ever saw was that picture of him in the back of the car, and I went, "What?"
I do remember
and
seeing
from
it
that-
at the time.
That's
to be
not,
honest
from
with
that,
you.
that's not true. It's a bit sad, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's just when I dug a bit deeper, I got to see the props. I was like, oh, it's a bit gutted. But it's something I've always been really interested in.
I mean, the original picture is real, and like you can sort of see the outline of the door
There's
and
a
whatnot.
shape,
But
yeah.
I think that was deliberately done as an Instagram post to say, "Hey, look, my dad's always with me," sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know, it was that sort of symbolic
And then you had
imagery.
people go and doctor it,
Yeah,
basically.
and they made it. Well, they kind of made it to.
So
They couldn't
their
just leave it
narrative.
as the symbolic. They had to fit their own narrative and sell newspapers.
It's
more
sold,
to
yeah.
the point. Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, that'll leave us there with that one. Then that was a good one, Pete. I really enjoyed that one.
Thank you.
It was a
As
good one.
always, in the comments, please leave your supportive comments towards it, or your supportive comments to taking away that it's absolute pish. But I mean, I liked it, Pete. I liked it. Good one.
Yeah, thank you.
Good one,
I
Pete.
enjoyed that one.
Probably a little bit
Yeah.
more, much more conspiracy theory than is Neil Buchanan Banksy.
No, but Phil liked that one as well.
I did
No,
like that
no,
one.
it's not.
I've liked them all. This has been your most
Sensible
thought
one.
of one.
Sensible, yes,
You-
that's
you
the
sensible
researched
one.
this
Wait till the next one.
Yeah, please be sure to obviously check out Phil as well from Off the Line. We haven't done him enough shout outs in this series, but
We
check
haven't.
him out. Off the Line. He's on YouTube. He's on Twitch. There's a link in the description.
It's for the record, it's off the line with a 0.
On Twitch.
Yes. On Twitch.
Right. Catch you in the next one.
Do that.
Cheers.
Voice.
What was that laugh?
What do you mean?
Was that your impression?
It sounded like Herbert.
Oh, hey there, little boy.